Hey everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming the OTP book tag. I was not tagged by anybody, but I've been seeing this video floating around a lot here on BookTube, and I thought it looked like a lot of fun, so I decided to do it. I do have a lot of couples to get through, so let's just get started. Question 1. Pick an unpopular OTP that you ship. So for this question, I definitely had to go with the two main characters from Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. That's Maya and Locan. I'm not really sure how you pronounce his name, but the reason that this is such an unpopular OTP is because the two main characters that are in this book are brother and sister. And I know that sounds very, very controversial, but the author has written this book in such an amazing way that it really makes you root for both of them to be together, even though it's not necessarily something normal that we see every day. It's very taboo, it's very typically not okay, but you just find yourself loving these two main characters throughout this entire book, and this book had me crying the entire time I was reading it, and I loved it a lot. Question number 2. Pick an OTP that you didn't ship at first, but you do now. So for this, I definitely had to go with Celia and Marco from The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. When I first started reading this book, I really wasn't okay with these two characters as they started to kind of fall for each other throughout the book. I felt like it was almost circumstantial that they happened to fall for each other. They just happened to be competing against each other and then fall in love. It was just very in the beginning, but then I started realizing how much I love them together, and this book was just stunning. The writing style was beautiful, and I really did end up liking Celia and Marco together in the end after I got through more of their story and more of their backstory, and it was just a very beautiful romance. Question number 3. Pick your most hated no TP. I was spoiled. I'm not okay with anybody but Kale. For the next question, pick an OTP that took way too long to get together. For this, I've picked the book Wonder Love by Kirsten Hubbard. I honestly don't even remember the two main characters' names in this book. That's how long ago I read it. But all I remember was how frustrated I was throughout this whole story because I just wanted them to get together and they didn't throughout like the entire book. And I was so angry because you just knew throughout the whole book you wanted the two characters to be together, and it just kept not happening, and it just made me so upset throughout this whole book. It was such a good story. I should really reread it soon, but I just remember how frustrated I was because they were just not getting together when I needed them to. And yeah, they definitely took way too long. Pick your favorite non-canon OTP. For this book, I actually decided to pick a classic, and that was Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is one of my favorite books ever, but my non-canon OTP from this book is definitely Jo and Laurie, because if you've read this book, I'm sure you know there was this whole complicated scenario with Jo and Laurie loving Jo, Jo not loving Laurie, and then Laurie ended up marrying her sister. So I just really feel like Jo and Laurie, even though they were best friends throughout the whole book, it was just, you could just tell they were meant to be together. And I feel like they still are now because they just know everything about each other. I feel like they complement each other very well. There's so much banter back and forth between them. It was a lot of fun to read also. And that's why it's my favorite non-canon OTP, because I just really needed them to be together. Pick your favorite bro TP. I would be lying if I said that my favorite bro TP wasn't Will and Jem from The Infernal Devices. Oh my god, the friendship between these two characters is just crazy. Like, it's just, the banter and like the witty jokes and the sarcasm is just all so fun to read. But then you know they really do care about each other too, and that they're best friends and they would do anything for each other because, I mean, they are parabatai. For those of you that don't know what that is, just read this series as well as The Mortal Instruments. It'll kind of explain everything. But these two characters are just fantastic. I would not want them to be friends with anybody else but each other, because that's just how much I love them. Pick an OTP that you adored in the books but not as much in the movie or TV adaptation. So for this, it's going to seem a little weird when I first show you who it is until I explain it a little bit. And it's Will and Ronnie from The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. And I absolutely loved these two characters in the book. And of course, I love them just about as much in the movie because that movie was so cute. Totally like perfect summer movie. But the reason I like the book a couple more is because there was so much more that we saw about their relationship and so much more that we just got involved with in their relationship in the book versus the movie. Like, I feel like I just wanted that 8-hour movie with every single little detail from the book in the movie that we didn't get. But I really, really do love both the movie and the book. I don't really like one more than the other, but I really did like their relationship and how we get to see more in the book. Pick a popular OTP that no matter how hard you tried, you just can't ship it. So for this question, I'm going to have to go with any of the relationships in the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. I really liked all of the characters separately, but I didn't really want to ship Katniss with Peeta or Gale. I feel like at the time when I was reading these books, I really did want her to be with Peeta. But now, looking back on it, I feel like I just like them all separately. I didn't really get behind any of the ships now, so I'm just kind of meh about these characters. It's still a really good trilogy. I haven't read it in years. I think I read this whenever I was in like 6th grade, I think. It's been a while, but yeah, I'm still not really behind any of the relationships in this book. Pick your favorite LGBT plus OTP. Malik. What else can I say but Malik? Magnus Bane and Alec Whitewood are my everything. I love them so much. I was shipping them from the very beginning of City of Bones. I love them so much together. They give me life. And I'm even loving them right now in the Shadowhunters TV show, because that show, you know, it started out kind of meh, but it's working its way up there. And that, oh, they're perfect. They really are. I love them so much. That TV show's done pretty good for me too. If you want me to talk any more about Shadowhunters, someone can let me know down below. But I definitely love this couple. And lastly, pick your all-time favorite OTP/OTPs. So for this one, it's gonna seem a little odd, but it's definitely all 3 characters in Clockwork Princess or The Infernal Devices. This one was the last book, and I was okay with both ships from this book, which would be both Tessa and Jem and Will and Tessa. I am not going to pick one over the other because I love both of them for different reasons. They both have just different aspects that you don't see with the other one, and it just makes me so happy. This book killed me though. This book had me crying the entire time I was reading it. Probably the whole last half of the book I was bawling. I was such a baby, but this book is so good. Oh, and it's so pretty too. But the relationships, both of them in this trilogy, are just gorgeous. They're stunning. The love, the amount of love within, I don't even want to call it a love triangle because it's really not. I mean, it is, but it's not. But the amount of love between these 3 characters is so extreme. It's just, it's goals. This book is goals. That's it with all the questions. Thank you for watching my OTP book tag. I don't really have anybody to tag yet either, since I'm just getting started on BookTube. So if you'd like to do this video, go ahead and do it. It was a lot of fun to film. It was a lot of fun thinking about all the different questions and who I was going to have for each answer. So all of my social medias are going to be linked down below. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I'm going to be uploading more videos soon. So thanks!